It's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck.
It's like, damn. I mean, it was a fun watch. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was the worst loss in the history of Lobo basketball. Although it's going to be one of those that's remembered forever because it wasn't necessarily Lobo basketball. But wow, you're not going to forget that for a long time. Now, they might have been done after last night anyway because that number 1 seed, the Evergreen Stars, was really good. But Enchantment with a 23-point third quarter lead in the basketball tournament, and everybody moving them on. The announcers, Fran Fraschilla sure was. I don't know if you were, but I was. And then, whoops, and there it goes. What's up, and Merry Monday to you. So much to get through on this Monday to recap a weekend that was, and look forward to what should be a really big week. Opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. How you living? You good?
Living good. What'd it do?
Good weekend?
Very good weekend. Fun weekend.
Right on. Sweet. Did you watch Enchantment on Saturday night?
So remember when I was like, this is going to be a fun tournament, and yeah, win or go home, but it's going to feel good, great atmosphere. Was I totally wrong? Because that was incredibly disappointing. And when you tie for the biggest lost lead or collapse 23 points, feels a whole lot different than just losing a tight game.
Does. Did you see Wichita State last night? I'm sorry, the aftershocks last night against the Creighton team that, in their arena? That was a great ending. So the atmosphere is good. This is a fun tournament. If you watch some of these endings, it's fun. It's just not fun when your team blows a 23-point lead, and they looked so good. Kenny Thomas at halftime said, "We can get scoring from everywhere. We have so much scoring. We have so much depth." Where was that depth in the fourth quarter? Where was that scoring in the fourth quarter? It was on the bench. Why? I mean, I'll ask the question, and I know you probably asked it too, but where were they getting points from in that fourth quarter? Where was Anthony Mathis? They went into that slowdown. I understand what they did, putting the 2-point guards in because they were turning the ball over, and that Stillwater press Doug Gottlieb put in, and he talked about his AAU team. Well, in AAU, we just go out there and create mayhem and press. Enchantment had problems handling that press. We put in a couple point guards, and then they just slowed it down. They had 4 chances to win it too, right? I mean, they had a 3 by Mathis that was off. They had 3 shots at the rim that were off, and then they give up that. It was I'm not gonna lie, like I know it's not Lowell basketball, but it was one of the most disappointing results for a local team for me in a long time, simply because they were up 23 and they looked so damn good and they were fun to watch.
Absolutely. They're cruising. It was working. Like, man, this is what we were talking about last week coming into this game, seeing these guys playing together, defense. What it's been like after so many have played a professional career, some at their early in their career, seeing them able to mesh, and then just after that, the final minute of the third and then entire fourth quarter, it looked like they have never played basketball together.
Yeah, I thought J.R. was so impressive. I mean, I think his name is now 36-year-old J.R. Giddens. I think that's what they call him every time he got the ball. His name is expanded, not just to J.R. Giddens, but 36-year-old J.R. Giddens. I thought, Mathis can shoot, but getting to the rim, I was really surprised he wasn't out there to get them some points in the fourth quarter to stretch that lead before the Elam started, and then there was just nowhere. Where were they getting points? Drew Gordon's game is fun. Roman hit a couple of shots early in that game where you're like, damn. I mean, he can still shoot. I thought Antino played well, or Antino as they needed to call him. It was Roman and Antino. Did you get that? Don't you talk to somebody and get names? Fran Fraschilla is a pro. But I just, JJ, I mean, honestly, like, I get it's not a Lobo loss, but that was one of the most disappointing local team losses because they opened up the 20. If they would have gone in and got blued out, you're going, all right. But they were better for 3 quarters. A lot better for 3 quarters. And
then just to see these guys that, even in this atmosphere, the way they played for 3 quarters, but then to not be able to just make basketball plays in the fourth quarter. Like, dudes that you're counting on. You heard all week, especially Kenny Thomas, he's like, I'm not worried about necessarily chemistry or anything because these guys are pros. They know what to do. And there was a whole lot of, have you guys like seen a press before? Like, do you know how to break a press? Do you know how to finish at the rim? And I'm right there with you. There was a stretch where you had Antno and Jamal Smith in there because they wanted to have the 2-point guards. Yep. But it's like you need your shooting. Like the dude that was pretty much the leading scorer up until Jared Giddens to the end, Anthony Mathis, was on the bench.
Yeah.
And it was amazing how quickly my feelings changed on that game, because coming into the tournament, I was like, win or lose, this is just, I think, going to be great for everyone. And if you can keep this going, have this awesome event in the summer, maybe the TBT comes to Albuquerque at some point in time. But then when you see a team lose a 23-point lead, you're like, wait a second.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Never mind.
No, we're on the same place. I was, all right, I'm curious to see. I wasn't, in a place where they could make a dent in this tournament. And at halftime, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm looking forward to seeing them play the Everlane Stars, the number 1 team, Cody Topper's team. I'm like, all right, that's going to be fun tomorrow. Is that what it is? All right, it's tomorrow. I'll carve out some time on Sunday. And I had them advancing, right? I think you did too. I think everybody did. And so I bought in. I totally bought in. And then to watch it go down the way it did, and I'm with you. Why Mathis wasn't in, I'm not sure. Well, we needed ball handling. No, I got it. You also needed to score. Well, we did. We were up by 23. Well, obviously you did. And then you get to the Elam ending. You need 8 points, right?
Yeah, and I thought the way they actually played it at the end was smart. Because once it got under 4, the enchantment gave the foul to get to the Elam ending.
Right.
All right, let's get it. But
yeah, let's not get it closer. Yeah, because it's the first stoppage under 4 minutes. And then Mathis came in, I want to say, with 2.5 to go, and he hit a shot. He had a shot to win it and missed that one. But, man, that was just it was fun. It was exciting. It was invigorating. And then it was so disappointing. And I don't find myself rooting a lot, JJ, for teams that we cover. I know we're not supposed to. You do pull for people you like. And so our jobs are always more fun, I think, when local teams, local basketball, football, New Mexico State wins. But I did find myself, because of the conversations we had last week, because of the relationships over the years with the majority of those guys, what it was doing in this community, the interest, the fun it was stirring up. Like, I did find myself a little bit of a fan in this one. I'm like, dang, this is nice. And I don't know. As I read on the Twitter a number of times, that's Global Basketball, somebody told me. And it was rough. I mean, it wasn't Cal State Fullerton, but it might not have been Harvard. But
no, not quite Harvard.
It was the Stillwater Stars.
But what it did show you is the amount of people that were interested in this game and following the former Lobos and buying in to this squad. So hopefully, I know it's a lot of work, but it's something that they can do next year, continue to get other guys involved. So I do think it's a really cool moment for the basketball community here in New Mexico. A fun thing in the summer. But guess what? Anytime you're playing sport, you're keeping score, it's definitely not going to be as rosy as you think it is when you try to explain it.
It was just such a bummer. I mean, it's just, bottom line is it's just such a bummer. But it is what it is, and that's what you got. Love your thoughts on it. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Your emails will come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com on the Twitter. Follow JJ_JJ Buck. Facebook, you can watch the show. Aaron's producing after a big weekend for them, and they got big couple of weeks coming up over ProView Networks, but Aaron's producing on the Facebook for ProView Networks, and Bobcat's taking your calls here. Coming up this morning, 8 o'clock, Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us, Global Football Coach. It is Media Day in 2 days. Wednesday is Media Day, so we're going to start those conversations. It is, believe it or not, football season. SEC is going today. Big 12 went last week. You are in it. And so we're going to talk to Danny as now they're here, and as they're getting ready, we'll get a catch up with him. Obviously, get into the NBA Finals where the Bucks are one game away from hoisting the O'Brien Trophy. Colin Morikawa with the Claret Jug over the weekend with a tremendous performance overseas on a beautiful day in Sandwich. It was the warmest day of the year and in perfect conditions. It wasn't the Open, man. Like, the Open, isn't the Open supposed to blow and be cold and be nasty? And it was like they were playing San Diego.
First off, congratulations, Colin. Second, that was way too nice. Way too nice of a tournament.
It was.
I don't need like, hey, tourism. What a great place. Come play golf. I wanted chaos, and I did not get chaos.
No, you didn't. You got 15 under for your winner, but congratulations to him. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. We'll come back into the NBA Finals.
No chaos involved at F45 training. The only chaos is trying to figure out how you're going to finish that workout. It's an intense 45 minutes. You get it? F45. 45 minutes, high-intensity training. The gym is fantastic. The workout programs, if you're not really up on what high-intensity training is, all it is just different sets and tempo and focuses throughout the week. Then 45 minutes, you're going to do things like keep your heart rate up, drop it, but you're never going to not stop moving at the class. Check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app today so you can take a look at the schedule of classes available, the Northeast Heights location, what the classes are all about, and you can also sign up for your 7-day free trial. Get in and get going in just 45 minutes is all it's going to take out of your day to get a high-intensity workout. And the thing with the app that I really do enjoy is just things are getting busier. We're opening up. People are going back to the gym. It's getting harder to find that workout time. But when you book your class on the app, you're guaranteed that spot in the class. So you're not going to show up and it's going to be full. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't work out. Once you book it, you are locked in. Not only is that nice to know, but it's also going to keep you accountable when it's on your calendar and locked in for that time slot. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app today. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You're watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a... Oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
The count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
He brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
23-119, the Milwaukee Bucks went into Phoenix and beat the Suns, and those Phoenix crazies down there didn't know what hit them. I think everybody down there certainly expected they were going to come home and everything was going to be right. But Chris, I think this is the Milwaukee team that was built to win when everybody is hitting. When you get 29 out of Middleton, 32 out of Giannis, and 27 and great defense out of Drew Holiday, and then they hold on down the stretch, and it was Drew Holiday's defense at the end, a terrific play, stripping Devin Booker, throwing the lob to Giannis Antetokounmpo for the winning dunk and free throw, and that's how they were built. That moment right there, that game right there, is kind of the setup that they've got, and that's the team that I think that you said when you picked Milwaukee to win the series. That's the team that you saw all 3 of those guys, and then like a Pat Connaughton and Bobby Portis coming off the bench. But for at moments like first half, they weren't terrific. But Milwaukee's looked really nice the last 3 games.
Yeah, when you have all 3 of them on, it's a different beast. But they've shown you in the finals, overcoming the 2-0 deficit, losing the first 2 games in Phoenix. The balance of this team between the star players that's on it. And if you keep questioning what Drew Holiday's role is, look past the shooting numbers.
Yeah.
Like, you have to get over a bad shooting game.
Yeah.
It happens. He's a constant on defense, his presence, what he's done on Chris Paul. We've seen in some moments on Devin Booker, but the ability to create and score for Drew Holiday is fantastic. And 27 points, 13 assists, that'll get the job done. But if you're the Phoenix Suns, there's question with Chris Paul. I thought he looked better in the 4th quarter. He was good down the stretch. Now it is, do you find that rhythm again? Are you able to get that ball movement back, getting everyone involved? Or does Devin Booker really have to take over and have a remarkable NBA Finals performance, because he is doing incredible things? What Giannis and Devin have done in the series is fantastic. I think Saturday night we saw how close Phoenix was, but it still felt like something was missing. You're getting what you need out of DeAndre. 45 minutes, 20 points, 10 rebounds, but just that presence. And it's just, what do you do early in the game offensively? Is it Devin Booker or bust? Are you able to find just enough? Because looking at it, if you're Phoenix, you then just take a step back and go, how do we find that edge defensively? Because you got really all you could. You had all 5 starters in double figures with Devin Booker scoring 40. It's just you could not handle one of the big 3 from Milwaukee.
Yeah, so a lot of that I agree with. Devin Booker may have to be the guy, and that's if it is, it just won't be enough. He's got to have help. And Ayton scored 20, and Chris Paul scored 21. So you got 81 points out of your big 3. You didn't get a whole lot anywhere else. Bridges gave you 13. And I guess that's how it's going to be, because when you look on the other side, you got all your points out of your big 3 as well. To your point on if you're worried about the shooting numbers of Drew Holiday, get over it. Yes, but I think he's got to shoot well for them to play for them to be good. And so while he contributes on the defensive end, the games in which he is shot poorly, really poorly, they lose. I think they need all three of those guys, including Drew Holiday's offense, to win a championship. I understand what's going on the other side, right? They got 27, 29, and 32 out of them and won the game by 4 points. And it came down to a defensive play at the end. I agree with you on Holiday. I think you look past his shooting as far as what he does, control the basketball, not turning it over, these 13 assists to go with his 27 points. All that is absolutely right. But I think for them to win the championship at one of these next two games, he has got to, along with Middleton and Giannis, contribute 20-plus.
Yeah, and you saw it just the last game, how tight it was. I think Phoenix, the only change is really, can you play better defensively? The offense was balanced. Chris Paul was efficient. He had all three of his three-point attempts there late in the contest. So it's just in a tough atmosphere, going back to Milwaukee, can you get it one more? And Monty Williams said, one, to put him on the plane. That's all you got to do. Easier said than done in the situation, but I've really liked just how the last two games have played out, getting tight. And what a moment late in this contest. Drew Holiday, what a defensive play. But he throws up that lob, and it's the classic, oh, no, what are you doing? Oh, my gosh. And to see back-to-back games where Giannis blocks an alley-oop and then finishes an unbelievable alley-oop, put exclamation points on the game.
So the Holiday play is one of the best plays in NBA Finals. And you're going, stop it. Michael Jordan's shot to end it with the pose. The block by Giannis, the block by LeBron. Like, I get it. I want you to look at both ends of that play. What he does to force the turnover, to strip the clean strip on Devin Booker, one of the best players in the game, control it, control the break, and then that pass, and then the finish. Like, honestly, in the moment, what that meant to swing a series, it was a 1-point game. Phoenix had the ball to win it. They would have been up 3-2. The impact on it, how impactful it was, how skilled it was, and how amazing it was. Like, I don't think I'm over-exaggerating by saying that's one of the best plays in the history of the NBA Finals.
Because who else can finish that? Like, who else in the NBA can finish that play?
Well, I want you to just put it into context, right? Because everybody told me that, well, not everybody. I was listening to the comparison on the block, Giannis's block on Ayton on the alley-oop in Game 4, and how LeBron's was better because it was context and what it was. And, oh, okay, all right, fine. If you want to tell me context, that's fine. LeBron's chase down block on Andre Iguodala, what was a tremendous play. It was great. It was one of the best I've ever seen, one of the best plays. I thought the play Giannis made, just the play itself, well, in a big moment, well, it was just a tie game, and there was a couple, okay, all right. So if you're gonna give me the context argument, Drew Holiday stripping Devin Booker in a 1-point game under 10 seconds to go with a series tied 2-2, controlling it, going down and throwing that pass, and Giannis finishing it, that's as good as a play as you're going to see.
That is just all the special athletic ability of Giannis. Drew Holiday said he was throwing it up, and it was Giannis or nothing.
Right?
Giannis was going to get it, or it was going to go out of bounds, and you're going to have to play defense. And somehow he did. And just the momentum of the play, too, when you're going almost out of bounds, and he's able to reach back and just finish on a side of the rim. It's crazy, and what a finish.
I mean, I'm listening. You've got a lot better. I'm listening. I'm sure there's a few that are better, right? And there's Ray Allen's 3, which was great that swung that series. There's great plays. There's Magic sky hook or little baby hook. Yeah, there's all kinds of great plays. But I'm going to put this one in because of context, because of skill, because of both ends of the floor, the steal, the control, the pass, the finish, the contact, and it turned the series. Because Phoenix scores on the other end, we're talking about Phoenix going to Milwaukee trying to close this thing out. Devin Booker had the ball in his hand. Drew Holiday took it from him. I'm listening. I hate the recency bias. I'm really, really careful about that. But if you got something better, tell me, because I'm listening to it. 505-246-0610. We're here for you today. Olympics get started this week. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. Aaron's producing on the TV side. Tag teaming it over there. Both of you guys got it. Bobcat on the radio side. Big weekend for you, Bobcat. You survived the house. Everything was okay. He didn't beat you up too bad. You got fed this every morning. Everything was okay.
Oh, everything's just hunky-dory.
Hunky-dory. See, hunky-dory never makes me think things are okay.
No, that's great.
Where does that term come from? What is hunky-dory? Where do you think that term comes from?
I will find out shortly.
The origins of hunky-dory.
Yes, indeed.
It's different than Punky Brewster, right?
No, it predates that.
Yeah, it's different than.
It is.
Yeah, all right. Rates remain near all-time lows, mortgage rates, but they cannot stay this low forever. You need to act now. You need to call American Financing. You can be paying a lot less for your home every month. This really is true. Because interest rates remain near historic lows. They will not stay this low forever. You've got to take action now. As a homeowner, one of the worst things you can do is miss out on a lower interest rate, because a lower rate can mean hundreds of dollars in monthly savings plus tens of thousands in long-term savings. Lower your payments, shorten your term, consolidate debt, even access cash. Whatever you need, American Financing can help. Lower your rate and take money back with help from American Financing. You could save up to $1,000 a month. When you choose American Financing, you don't have to reset your loan term. You can choose any term you want, 10 years or over, because you shouldn't pay interest on years you don't need. What are you waiting for? They will save you the most money. They really are in it for you. They are American Financing. You'll get pre-qualified for free when you call them 423-551-6525. That's 423-551-6525. Or visit AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Team for Reed Fiegel this year. That one is hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd. One 0 Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles played long ball. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact.
Morikawa is the new Open champion, the 149th champion. Big hug for his caddy. Warm handshake from Louis Oosthuizen. What a performance by Colin Morikawa.
He's played in 8 major championships. He's won a quarter of them. It's Tiger-esque, is it not? First ever Open Championship for Colin Morikawa, the 24-year-old American who went to the University of California at Berkeley. Very well-spoken, very composed, and boy, what an iron game he's got. He's like 114th in length, JJ. And in the age of Bryson DeChambeau hitting the ball further than you can run, it's interesting, and I will tell you somewhat refreshing to see a guy play a little old school, so young, be 114th and have iron play, and then putt the way he putted. It was a pleasure to watch. It wasn't the Open that you expect when you watch the Open Championship because there was no weather. Opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. But it's again, this is another one of those guys. It's hard not to like him, isn't it?
It is. Add him to the list of
he's on it.
Dudes that could be the next, whatever you want to call it, the Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, a lot of talent. Ever since Tiger Woods, all we're doing is waiting on one of these guys just to run off crazy numbers and get to double digits. But it goes back to the conversation we've had over the last few years, the depth of talent playing golf around the world right now. It's incredible. It was a great performance on a Sunday. All you heard was everyone talking about how he dealt with pressure, which he did his job. Louis Oosthuizen ran into a little bit of trouble, fell behind. He couldn't come back. Jordan Spieth couldn't catch him on a Sunday. So it's hey, great performance, but that's not the Open. Like it was way too nice. Yeah. The conditions were fantastic, and all you heard was, well, without the wind, there's nothing to protect this course, and that's what we saw. And you can't control the weather, but you're just waiting for that moment. All right, dealing with adversity, what's that challenge going to be? Without the wind, you could drop into the fairway, hit greens in regulation, and score low.
82 degrees, the warmest day of the year in Sandwich, England. It looked like they were playing in San Diego. It did, right? I mean, the water right there, it looked like San Diego in so many respects. It was it was different. I don't think there's going to be a next whatever. I don't for a long time. You've got such a dearth, a depth of talent, and you can go through the list, and you can start wherever you want, and I don't know where you want to end, but you can go from the Justin Thomases and Jordan Spieths. Rory McIlroy is still young. Xander Schauffele hasn't won yet. Colin Morikawa's got to be near the top of that list. Brooks Koepka is still young and near the top of that list. Cam Johnson is an Australian who's going to be terrific. The international players are just wonderful. So I don't think you're going to see one of those runaway Tiger kind of winners who dominate every single week. I think Tony Finau is going to win. Obviously, Jon Rahm is as good as he's the #1 player in the world now. Dustin Johnson is still young. He finished tied for 8th. I mean, just go down. Daniel Berger's been top 10 all 4 majors this year. Scotty Scheffler's coming. Victor Hovland's on the cover of Golf Magazine. He's coming. Tony Finau's going to win one day. I mean, you just go down, and Bryson DeChambeau is obviously what he is. The young, really, 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 really good golfers are at a level that we've never seen before. Tommy Fleetwood's still young. And so I don't know that we're going to see that. And that's why you're going to learn a bunch of different personalities. I always ask in like Mountain West, is it better for Boise State to be dominant, or is it better to have 2 or 3 really good teams? Is it better to have a Tiger-type presence, or to have this wealth of talent who can win any week?
For me, it's to have a wealth of talent, but I think it's one where in the moment we can say it was better to have Tiger because that was historical.
Right, no doubt.
It's one thing to just be a really good team or program for a few years, but I think for the PGA Tour, golf as a whole, look at the major winners this season. Hideki Matsuyama, Jon Rahm, Phil Mickelson, Colin Morikawa.
I mean,
Like, how you couldn't hit on any more potential fan bases than that run right there.
You've got a Spaniard, you've got a Japanese player, you got the old guy at 50 years old, and a young Asian American, which is, you're all over the place. Yeah, you've got the two Americans, 124, 151. You've got a Spaniard who is a stud, and that sweet striking Japanese player. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, and it's a global game, and they all are pretty amazing in their own right. That's why I'm telling you. And you didn't say Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau. You didn't say Justin Thomas or Ricky Fowler or Jordan Spieth. And Jordan's been there the whole time. Xander hasn't won yet. Dustin Johnson, who was number one in the world going into yesterday. So I love it because it is in the you can root for your guy, whoever it is. But I get it for the people who Tiger's not there. You know what? Then you're never watching again. I mean, with all due respect, if you loved golf simply because Tiger, then you're probably not coming back.
Yes, and we talked about the manufacturing, Brooks, Bryson. Yeah, they're going back and forth at each other, taking shots, but ultimately, it's got to be more than just press conferences. Now, we'll get into what Brooks Koepka did because he had I think the nice one-liner, probably won the weekend in his post-match, but just to get the interest back overall. Sure, you're going to have those moments, but I think to me it's more about the rivalry on the course and seeing the different guys that can compete for major championships, the different stories that can draw you in throughout the year and hit so many different fan bases.
And what you're talking about was so well delivered. Brooks, after his round on Friday, was being interviewed, and he said, I played, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's pretty close. I played really well. I'm happy with my game. I hit my irons well. I drove the ball well. I love my driver. I love my caddy. It was just right, just mid-sentence, delivered, pan-faced. That was terrific. Take your shot when you can. He's just better at it than Bryson is. And he's way more composed. When things don't go well, he's way more composed than Bryson is. Fair?
Yes.
But by the way, he finished, tied for 8th when it was all said and done. Brooks did. He was, I'm pretty sure that's where he was, -7, -8. He finished tied for 6th. Tied for 6th, Brooks Koepka did, at -8. And Bryson was tied for 35th. Had a good day yesterday. Tied for 33rd, sorry. Tied for 33rd at -2. Shot 5 under yesterday. So the Open was the Open. It was, though. It was weird, and I'm not going to lie, a little disappointing not to see the elements blowing nasty as I'm sitting in my living room or laying in my bed watching it early in the morning. That's always been the beauty of the Open, was watching the elements, watching these guys battle 25-degree wind or 25-mile-an-hour winds and drizzle and cold, and it's 54 degrees and they're all. I mean, it was just weird to see them all wearing short sleeves at the Open, wasn't it?
It was. Take advantage of it if it's there.
Congratulations to Colin Morikawa, now a 2-time major champion, and I thought he handled himself really well. All right, 505-246-0610. Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us at 8 o'clock. Media days for Mountain West Conference football this week. You're in it, boys and girls. Like here we go. So we'll catch up with him coming up at the top of the hour. Good to be out again. How was the weekend? Were you out moving again? I know what's going on as far as the surge, but we're moving. How you feeling? Are you ready for it? I hope you're ready, men. If you're not feeling well, may I strongly suggest you call New Mail, Feel Like You Again. If you are potentially dealing with things that are natural, things like fatigue, low T, erectile dysfunction, there is a place, and it is right here in Albuquerque, that can help you. New Mail has been the trailblazer in the men's health field for years. They will help if you call them. But you got to call them. 505-652-1688. You can visit them online at NewMail. That's NUMALE.com. You'll feel better. You know this, but I'll tell you again. As you age, men, things like hair loss, weight gain, even ED happen. A really good chance that you're going to be affected. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. In fact, the only thing to be ashamed of is not doing anything about it. Do something. Call New Mail at 505-652-1688. New Mail's right here in Albuquerque. The process is comfortable, but the best part about the whole thing is the results. The results are real. It works, and men all over the country are benefiting. Call NewMail at 505-652-1688 or visit newmail.com and feel better.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of no-valent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems, is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit Clark's Pet.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com. Or coming up, what's going to be a big week. Football camps opening, the Olympics beginning. You're going to get an NBA champion by the end of this week. It's a big time. We're here for you if you want to get in on Enchantment's loss over the weekend. 84-83, the Stillwater Stars came back from nowhere, from death, and knocked out that Lobo alumni team over the weekend. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck, Danny Gonzalez is going to join us. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to talk football with the Lobo football coach. Biggest thing for the weekend for you was, for me, it was Enchantment, just because locally the NBA game was big, but it wasn't a final. I want to get into the D.C. shooting because that ballpark situation was big. But what stood out the most for you?
Enchantment Finals Open. F1 race.
Yeah.
With the drama.
Yeah.
Hamilton hitting Verstappen. Second lap, knocking him out of the race. Red Bull fighting for the championship. Max Verstappen fighting for the championship, losing a lot of points. So Mercedes was able to gain a lot of ground. That got a little feisty on Sunday morning.
Yep. No, there was a lot of stuff, and it's International Month, right? So that's where we are in July. All the international stuff. But yes, that was good too. The scene on Saturday is that you started to hear there's a shooting at the ballpark in D.C. Padres and Nationals and taking people into the dugout, into the clubhouse, because that's where it was safe, or at least you thought it was safest. It's one of those things where afterwards you know what's going on. You go, okay, well then, the shooter was outside, and all I know, man, you're in a ballpark with 40,000 people, and you start hearing shots fired. And ends up there, it was outside, but it was down that left field, third base side. I was telling Audra, that's right where we came in. Remember when we were at the Nationals game a couple of years ago? So just that's how I think the majority of people come in is that way. I don't know that we've had that. I was trying to draw a parallel and I couldn't. And so in the moment, watching players grab their family, take them into the clubhouse, running into the stands to grab people, the uncertainty of what's going on, you have no idea. And in today's day and age, I don't think anything's out of the realm of your mind when you hear something like that. It was horribly unnerving.
Yeah, seeing that story, you can just, as you mentioned, only try to imagine what would be going through your head. It got to a point when they said, stay in the stadium for the national fans, and people started freaking out a little bit, which is understandable. And you said 40,000 people, and you heard it. It was audible. You could hear it on the telecast. And the biggest thing ultimately is you don't know what's going on. And everyone there is pretty much with their family, loved one, with your kids, chilling at a baseball game, and just the rush of emotions that are going through at that point in time.
You're hearing about people saying that they were hiding under their seats. They were grabbing going wherever you go. Where do you go? What do you do? The uncertainty, to your point. I'm just hoping. My fear is, copycats or people getting ideas. I think you go through any stadium. You go to Isopes Park, you go through a metal detector now, right? Which, as pick your word, intrusive as that is, all of a sudden we're seeing why, right?
And then I think Ryan Zimmerman I was looking at some of the comments yesterday. The Nationals first baseman, he said once you hear about what happened, there's a sense of relief, but it doesn't change what it felt like in that moment, because you don't know where those shots are coming from, or for someone in the stadium trying to come into the stadium, and then it ended up being an issue outside with someone driving by the stadium. But still, it's all you hear is that echo throughout the ballpark.
Well, and then once some people start panicking, everybody does, right? And it turns into, to your point, that unknown, what's going on. I thankfully it didn't end up worse, and people did get shot outside, and so it's here to say thankfully. But we've all been in a stadium and an arena before, and you start thinking, what are we doing? Like, where are we, and what are we doing? But that's how it was. On the field, nice walk-off by Charlie Blackmon yesterday. Your Rockies got one from the Dodgers.
The Rockies make no sense. 10 walk-off wins to lead Major League Baseball, and a whole 9 wins on the road. 9 wins on the road. This was at home. This was against the Dodgers. This was a come-from-behind win against the Dodgers yesterday in Coors Field, and a nice win for them, and doing just enough to. I mean, we're coming on the trade deadline. You're convinced Trevor Story's staying. I think John Gray may have pitched his last game as a Rocky. I still think Trevor Story's going by the trade. What's the deadline? It's Friday? Is that what it is? It's this week. I don't think Trevor Story is going, and I don't think that would be a good thing for the organization right now.
Okay.
Because they don't have a direction.
Truth.
They need a stable front office in place to make a decision like that. They need to say, are we blowing this up? Is this going to be a trust the process moment? Or do you trade a John Gray, just one of those guys in the rotation that you feel like is good, we can get some value for him, but not going to give him a $100 million contract to continue to pitch for us. So I don't think the Rockies can make that move right now. Trevor Story, it's just the uncertainty, what the front office is going to look like, what they're going to try to do going into next season. And the fact that, they're not a good baseball team, but they're not the worst team in baseball. And so you're stuck in that purgatory. You're 12 games under 500, but I don't think you can make the move of Trevor Story right now.
They're 41-53, 18 games back. To your point on the road, they are brutal. They are 9-34 on the road, but they're 32-19 at home. They win games at Coors Field. I for the life of me, I mean, both teams are playing at Coors Field. I don't understand why when you go down to sea level you can't win a game. But that all said, they're a heck of a lot better than Arizona. Now, does that make you feel good? You're still 18 games back. All right, so you're not the worst team in the league. Arizona's 32.5 games back. You are, 18, 28, and 4 you're 14 games better? You feel better? All right. It's not where you want to be. The object is not just to be better than Arizona. What's the price? If someone comes to you with what for Trevor Story? You listening? John Gray's a different story, I think.
Yeah, John Gray is 29 years old. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent next year. So you're not going to get great pieces back for a John Gray at this point in time. But for Trevor Story, with what happened with Nolan Arenado and just the hit that the team took, not just, all right, you're trading your best player, you get it, but the best piece you got back was a 27-year-old player who's Austin Gomber's been good when he's pitched, but that doesn't help you 2, 3, 4 years from now. That's really what you're looking at when you trade a player like Nolan Arenado. It is getting top 5 prospect, 2 top 20 prospects from an organization at least, and then whatever other pieces you need to complete the deal.
Yeah, it's a totally different deal because I don't think he's coming back. John Gray, 29, free agent, going to go get paid, and does he want to pitch in Colorado anymore? The pitchers want to re-sign in Colorado. And so I think you take what you can get. The Trevor Story thing, how many prospects you giving me, what is it, and I'm not paying for him.
Yeah, and you're not getting $50 million.
Yeah, and I'm not paying for him. Football, when we come back, Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us. He's going to Vegas this week to talk to the media, taking a few players with him. It's upon you. It is, football is here. We talked to him about how things change now. He's got his freshman in for a couple of weeks. Now everybody else is going to report and getting this thing started. 505-246-0610. That's the Quan's Auto Care hotline and the NMDOT text line. Your emails come in this morning, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Bobcat produces on the radio. Aaron, and what do you got? You got tag team back there? On ProView Networks. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning. Welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's that gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
1-0's the count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
He brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
Small ball team for Reed Fiegel this year. That one is hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd. One nothing Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles play long ball. Good over with 2 outs here. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
For your business,
Well, we didn't get to do this last year. It's the opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. Last year we didn't know what we were doing at all in regards to football, so there was no media days. I don't know if you like them, if you hate them, if you tolerate them, if they annoy you, but the Big 12 was last week. SEC is going on today. Mountain West, Pac-12, Conference USA, all this week. It's the opening drive, and we'll get back to your phone calls in a little bit. It'll be a lot of, I love our staff. I love our class. The kids worked hard. We're ready to go. We're ready to get back into it, get back into stadiums. You kind of know what you're getting, but sometimes you don't, and there's good stories. For the University of New Mexico's second-year head coach, Danny Gonzalez, this will be his first time at Media Day as a head coach. He joins us on the Quan's Auto Care hotline. Hello, Danny. How you living?
I'm living great. Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
Good morning. So you didn't get to do this last year. I'm going to guess when you get the head coaching job, this Media Day isn't the top of your list of things you're excited about, but this is your first one as head coach. How do you approach it? Do you get coached on it? Do you talk to other people about it? Or you just kind of figure, I'm going to go in and be who I am and talk to these guys and just tell stories?
No, I'm like always. I'll be honest. I'll give my true opinion. Being around Coach Long for the last 23 years, I have an idea of what because he'd come back and share stories of the things they talked about. I've been on the bandwagon, Jeff, of why not just go in there and say, well, our recruiting is terrible, we're going to be terrible, and the coaches stink, so whatever. But I won't. I'll be, I'll say it like it is. We're not there yet. It's a marathon, not a sprint, but we'll be a very competitive football team.
Yeah, I've always waited for the coach to tell me, the kids have not worked hard. We're lazy. We had a crappy recruiting class. I don't really like our coaching staff, and we're not going to be very good. And I'm waiting for that because I've done this. I was listening. I was clearing off my recording device yesterday, and I kept a bunch of stuff. But I listened to some over the years that I've had with Rocky. And, I don't know who's done more interviews there, him or me, over the last 20 years, because we've both been, I think, to almost every one of them. But you hear the stories, and there tends to be a theme. And I think there's going to be an intrigue about New Mexico, right? Because the polls are going to come out, and you probably have an idea where you're going to be. Do they mean anything to you?
No. To be honest with you, I hope they pick us last. August polls mean nothing to me. Let's play this thing out and then see where everybody lands in December. There's a bunch of Lobo fans around here that can go all the way back to 2005. We were picked to win the Mountain West Conference and probably did our worst job of coaching because we probably had the most talented team and finished 6-5 and didn't go to a bowl game. So they mean absolutely nothing, and I hope they pick us last because it just gives us that much more incentive to move forward.
I remember that year, and I remember it well. Danny Gonzalez is the head football coach at the University of New Mexico.
Well, Dan, you're going to have two leaders on both sides of football with Kyle Stapley for the offense, Jarek Reed for the defense. What do you hope they say about the program just in terms of expectations and what they've gotten from you and your staff now about that foundation being a year into it?
Well, I hope they go in there, and what I'm expecting to hear from them is that they expect to win. That's the only reason we do this. Is to compete to win, and competing to have a chance to win championships is the only thing that matters. Now, they're student athletes, and we make a huge emphasis on them getting their degrees and being students. But when it comes down to the competition in the weight room, the meeting room, the classroom, on the football field, there's only one reason you do it, and that is to win. And if they don't expect to win, then we got the wrong guys. And I know that that's the motive that they have. They expect it going in, and I think off of the last two games of last year, they kind of got a taste of what it feels like, and I hope they taste it so much that they don't want to let it go.
Hey, Danny, there's been a lot more structure for your team this year, just able to work out as a team, able to use your own facilities this offseason. But the individuals, can you tell the dudes, as you like to say, that love the game and this means something to them, the off-season work, how important was it for those guys when they came to the summer camp, when they're getting ready for training camp, to be at the level you want them to be?
The off-season has been, 180 degrees from last year, obviously, and we've made a lot of progress. But that part of the question of who loves football and who wants to be around and do those things, those questions got answered in Las Vegas. And that was a huge deal for our football team. For the 42 days we were there, it was 24 hours a day, and the majority of them, the ones that actually loved it and couldn't get enough of it, they were downstairs all the time hanging out with the coaches, watching film, watching just football, trying to get better. And so that was very telling when we came back to Albuquerque. And then when we started in January and we got to actually use a real weight room with real weights and guys spotting each other, it was amazing. And they saw how weak they were. But if you were at the Night of Champions and the atmosphere and the strength that they had gained, and seeing those guys actually have confidence in the weights they were lifting and doing those things, I mean, that was a telling part for our program. And now we just got to keep going forward.
Danny Gonzalez is with us for a few more minutes, the head football coach at UNM. Media days start on Wednesday. I do have a biathlons is in front of me. You are not picked last. You're picked fifth in your division ahead of Utah State, and it talks about quarterbacks. And I think when we go to these things, everybody always talks about quarterbacks because it's the most high-profile position. Your league's got some really good ones coming back. Nevada's got a terrific one. San Jose State's got a really good one. Fresno State's got a good one. It's going to go on and on. You're going to be asked about your quarterback a lot. What's the answer when you're going to hear all the time? What about Terry Wilson? What's he bring to your team?
Well, the first answer to that question is going to be, I absolutely love the competition that we have at that position. We've got a young man in Isaiah Chavez locally who played our last two ball games, predominantly the Wyoming game and then started the Fresno game. And we won our only two football games with him at the helm. Trey Hall was playing pretty well before he suffered the rib injury, and then Terry Wilson is a proven winner in the SEC. So we've got three guys that are going to compete for this job that I'm excited to watch that competition take place. I'm sure there's a lot of people expecting Terry Wilson to be given the job, but I don't give anything to anybody. If he's the best one, he'll be the starting quarterback. If he's not, then it'll be one of the other two. And I'm looking forward to that competition when we start on August 4th.
When you go into this year, I'm going to look around that room, and there's going to be, I think, 6 new coaches. The league is a bit in a transformation, but I think it's in a pretty decent spot. When you look at the league right now and the new coaches, where's the Mountain West as far as trajectory-wise?
I think we are the fifth, sixth league, best league in football in this country. I thought the Sun Belt had a great year last year. If you look at the new CFP format where they're expanding to 12 teams, the Pac-12 would not have had a guaranteed team in the playoff. They wouldn't even had one in the playoff. No. Coastal Carolina, who had a great year, was ahead of them. I mean, you've got 6 leagues, and one of them not being a Power 5, and I think our league is right there with those. I mean, we can compete with those leagues, and the champion's going to have a chance to go throw their hat in the ring and see what happens. So I'm excited where our league is, and I think it's only up from here.
I think one of the beautiful things about this league right now, and I think this bodes well for you, San Jose State won it last year. They have been perennially at the bottom of this league, and they turned things around. I think Brent's done a terrific job. Hawaii won a bowl game last year. They're not a traditional power. You look at some of it, this is not just a Boise State, San Diego State league, as some people like to think that don't follow it, and I think that bodes really well for you.
Oh, absolutely. Not anymore. I mean, Brent Brendan's done an outstanding job at San Jose State from where they started 4 years ago when he took over the head job, and him being a really good buddy of mine, I've been able to bounce a lot of ideas and frustrations off with him. I think they have a model that works that we used at San Diego State when we were there. So, I mean, I think this league Air Force is going to have a really good football team. Wyoming is as good a looking football team as there is Power 5, Group of 5, it doesn't matter. So I think there's a lot of teams in this league that can accelerate to the top, and then that just makes us better all around.
And Danny, on that line, you're competing for a conference championship, and when you get into it, it's going to be about what you do in your division, trying to play for that title game. But kind of overall, when it comes to those non-conference games, I understand some of the challenges in there. What does this league have to do, even outside of it, to climb that ladder some?
We have to compete in those games against the Power 5 leagues, and there's no doubt. What San Diego State was able to do, beating UCLA, beating Stanford, beating Arizona State. Boise's got to continue doing that. When we get our opportunities, I mean, Texas A&M is significantly better than us. And over the next 4 years, we get Arizona, Auburn, Michigan, UCLA. We've got to compete and win some of those games to give our league respect and credibility. And I have all the faith in the world. Now, I'm not saying we're going to beat Texas A&M this year. We'll go in there and compete. But by 2023, 2024, when we're playing those Power 5 teams, we'll win some of those games, and that'll just help to give our league credibility.
Now, I think it's other teams besides just Boise State and San Diego State winning some of those games. I think Nevada won one of those games. Who they beat, JJ? Was it Vanderbilt on that last second field goal a year ago? But to your point, San Jose State beating some teams. It's been only in your league, San Diego State and Boise State winning some of those games. Utah State every once in a while beating a BYU. But I think you agree it's important to win some of those non-conference games early in the year.
Oh, I do. I mean, in 05, the team that I was talking about, the 05 year, we played UNLV on Labor Day. 4 days later, we beat Missouri at Missouri with Brad Smith. We swept Arizona 2 years in a row. Those are the kind of games that we need to get back to and win, because I really think it helps. I mean, look what Coastal Carolina did. I mean, that game against BYU that they won in the last second where they tackled BYU at the 1 yard line, that gave them a whole bunch of credibility and kept them in the top 12 in the CFP. So, I mean, those are games that our league has to win just to be able to stay in that conversation.
Yeah, I look at some of these superlatives on, coaches on the rises and best coordinator hires to keep position. One of the things I'm looking at, somebody has New Mexico as the hardest team to evaluate, which I don't know how to interpret that, but I think when you're coming off a 2-win season and you're a hard team to evaluate for one of these so-called experts, I think that means that you made a lot of key moves in the offseason. The additions, the unknowns, as you go into practice with all these newcomers, it's got to make you feel good, not just the high school recruits, but a lot of the transfers.
You know, I think we still are trying to solidify who's going to be our starting right tackle. I think that's the biggest question mark. Some of the young guys that we've signed that have been working out here now for the last couple of weeks in the morning, I said last year during the recruiting, summing up that class, we definitely increased our team speed. We've got some guys that can move out there. Both O-line, D-line, and our skill guys are significantly faster than what we've had, which is a positive. Now, are they good enough to play? The speed and transition from high school to Division I football is unbelievable. And the further you are away from the football, meaning corners and wide receivers, the easier it is to play as opposed to linemen inside on the ball where there's grown men in there and it's a mean sport. So we'll have to evaluate those guys through fall camp to see if they can help us this year. I think one of the things that really makes it hard on those guys, I mean, we have the best defensive coordinator in the entire country, and I'll fight anybody on that. And what the improvement that we can make on defense with myself and Coach Long from year 1 to year 2, if we can stop the big play, we could have mass improvement on defense. Now, I don't know if we can stop the big play yet. We'll have to figure that out during fall camp and as we get into the first 3 games. But our first 4 non-conference games should be very competitive. Texas A&M is going to be a whole lot of fun because a lot of our kids, I mean, it'll be an atmosphere that some of them have seen before, some of them haven't. The ones that were on the Notre Dame trip have seen that kind of an atmosphere. So if they can relax and we go out there and the toughest football team will come out on top, hopefully it won't be they're very talented. They're the 3rd best team in the country for a reason. We're going to throw our hat in the ring and see how tough we are.
I'll see you in Vegas on Wednesday. Safe travels. Always appreciate the conversation. I know we'll do it soon.
Thank you. Like I said, unfortunately, you said one of them didn't pick us last, but that's okay.
You want to be unanimous?
Pick us last for a long hair time. I'm excited about the trajectory of our program. It's time to paint this town cherry. We'll see you on Wednesday. Thanks, everybody. Go Lobos.
Be well. Danny Gonzalez, safe travels to Vegas. He joins us on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. I think people are going to really like Danny at Media Day. I think there's going to be this infectious. But I think there's going to be a lot of fresh. Look, Fresno State and Boise State and Utah State, and look around the league. You know, Brady Hoke is back doing this. He did it last year, but he's back to Media Day. There's going to be a lot of newness as we go through, and it's going to be fun. Protect your home, protect your business, protect what is important to you, and don't wait until you're a victim. I suggest you call IPS, International Protective Service. They have watched my home for years. It gives my family, my neighbors, a sense of security. It makes everybody feel better seeing that IPS vehicle on a regular basis. I understand that it's kind of like insurance. You know you need it, but you don't want to pay for it. Then a bad guy breaks in and it's too late. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect what is important for you, and that's your home and your business. Call IPS. There's no long-term contracts. They are not selling this business to some out-of-state company like a bunch of other security companies. Aaron is committed to making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and to work. You go out of town, they watch your home, pick up the newspapers. Garbage cans get rolled to the curb on garbage day, whatever it is you need them to do. They'll pick up that package that got delivered so it's not sitting on your curb for the next 3, 4, 5 days. They take care of your home and what's important. Call IPS. Stop crime before it happens. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420, or visit them online at ipsglobal.com.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream style roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever.
The Mountain Division, seems to be about where everybody's got Lobo football, and I would guess that's where they'll be in the official poll, the Mountain West poll, when it comes out, when it's released later this week. Utah State, the other team at 5th or 6th. The win total I see is 4.5 for New Mexico. People figure that they can beat Houston Baptist and New Mexico State. They have toss-up games for UTEP, UNLV, and Utah State. So if they win all of those, that's at 5, and then where's the other one coming from, right? That's kind of where the thought is on New Mexico football. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, you can get into 2460610. We're not going to do the over/under game yet, although I've got them all.
You got to go fall in love with everyone.
No, that's right. I got to go fall in love with every one of these coaches. Oh, they're going to be great. They're going to be great. They're going to be great. But I'll give you the over/under on New Mexico at 4.5. Where do you feel on that?
I'll take the over.
Okay. So you think 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9?
I'm sitting at 5.
Okay. 5 will be frustrating but good, right? 5 would be a good year but frustrating because you'll be one short of the postseason. It'll be success. And it's going to take patience. 5 would probably mean a big lull throughout the middle part of the season, right? It would probably mean you start 3-1, you get one at the end of the year, you beat UNLV like early in the conference schedule.
And I think 6 is very attainable.
It is.
With this schedule.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, you got to win. You know, what is Colorado State? I have no idea what Colorado State is.
And even the uncertainty you kind of have with the Lobos, but I don't think that looking at this team. No, I think Utah State has many more questions.
Yeah, I think it's right.
Colorado State. And then I think there'll be pushing Wyoming, trying to compete with them. And so if you go Boise State, Air Force, Wyoming, I think New Mexico could be that team right there in the standings.
Yeah, I think they're better than Utah State, I think. Air Force is going to be good again. Wyoming's that team that's really interesting because they play so much like New Mexico wants to play. And so, you know, just like the game that they beat them last year, it was a grind, right? That's what you're going to get into with them. Now, if you've got a little bit of explosiveness, you get an opportunity to beat them. I don't know what Colorado State is. I just don't. You know, and then who else? In conference play, you play Hawaii, right? I mean, Hawaii's good. Chevin Cordero's back. Turner's back. He's not. You don't play Hawaii? You don't
crossover games are San Diego State, UNLV, and Fresno State.
All right. I think Fresno State's going to be interesting. I really don't know what I think Fresno State is. I think they've got a really good quarterback. But what are they? And with a new system, you beat them last year. Now, you don't beat them a lot. I do think this is the year that you snap the streak against Colorado State. Fresno State's picked 3rd, I see, on the west side. They got 3 starters up front on the offensive line. But they give up points. They give up 30 points a game last year. They give up points. To me, the biggest thing is going to be, because I do trust what New Mexico is going to be defensively. And you're going to say, Jeff, why? What do they have? Who have you seen? Well, I think Jarek Reed's terrific. I think they're going to be better up front, and I'll tell you why. It's what Danny said. He's got the best defensive coordinator in America. I trust Rocky Long and Danny Gonzalez defensively, don't you?
I do.
And that's why. So to me, this is where New Mexico could be the surprise if they can score points consistently. I don't expect Danny to say it until he officially announces he wins the job, but I think you and I can say it, and we all expect Terry Wilson to be the quarterback, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if Terry Wilson is what he was, or a semblance of what he was at Kentucky, I do believe they've got good running backs. Do you agree with that? Okay, so if he's got playmakers on the outside, I've heard for years, they got playmakers, they just got to get them the ball. I'm not sure that I think that they had playmakers all these years, okay? But if they've got playmakers, if they've got guys who can get the ball to, they can be pretty good, because I think they're going to stop people. Just because I trust the defense, I trust the coaches, I trust the system. They can put up points, JJ. They can win games.
The one unknown for me is the receiving core of this team. What's it going to look like? And the thing with Terry Wilson is what people will learn is you hear Terry Wilson, you hear quarterback, you hear SEC. He's not a dude that's going to drop back and throw the football 50 times a game. That is not the offense that the Lobos are going to run. Derek Wareheim, I am all in on what he can do with someone like Terry Wilson, because look at the game plan to end the season. When you went down to quarterback 5, when you had guys with such dramatically different skill sets, starting from Tavaka Tuioti to Connor Janal to Isaiah Chavez, and the offense that they were able to run, still out of the shotgun, but run focus, some of the RPOs, the zone read. I think Terry Wilson fits into Wareheim's scheme fantastically, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do. And that's why I'm on Terry Wilson, because I think he has the best mix of everything right now, the athletic ability with the experience to make those decisions and some plays downfield.
Yeah, I just think that, to me, that's such the wild card in this. You're going to tell me that Colorado State's much better than them? I don't know. I mean, they seem like they recruit well. They feel to me like San Diego State 15, 18 years ago, in the respect that they get a lot of talent. They've got the facility, not that San Diego State ever had the facility, but this is a team like, oh, they should be good every year. But are they, right? Are they? And I'm not, I don't know what they're doing at quarterback. Is it Conteo? Is where they going? I do believe this is the year that New Mexico beats Colorado State. And I think that's going to be the one that puts them over the top.
I'm with you. If there's time to snap that streak, it is right now when you have that team in Albuquerque. And the streak you need to snap is not going to the gym. F45 functional training, just 45 minutes. That's all you need to invest to get a high-intensity workout that's going to kickstart you or challenge yourself to get to that next level. But just 45 minutes is all you need to get a high-intensity workout. It's fast, fun, and results-driven. So get out of that funk and get to the gym. Check them out now, f45training.com. Download the F45 app today. Take a look at the Northeast Heights location. Check out the schedule, what the classes are all about. Sign up for your 7-day free trial and get in and get going. And what I love about the app is everything's right there. The schedule of classes, the description of the classes, but you book your class on the app, so you guarantee your spot once the class is booked, and it's going to help you not back out of it. Things come up, but once you have it booked, your spot is locked in, so it's not going to be taken over by someone else. But you also get a nice friendly reminder an hour before class starts pop up. Bing! You got your workout in an hour, so you're going to show up, get it done, and then move on with the rest of your day in a fantastic high-energy workout in just 45 minutes. So F45training.com. Download the app today. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of no-valent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning. Welcome to the Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Sports animal. Carl's in on Terry Wilson, the global quarterback. Jeff, just watch everyone steal the term Timex Terry from Carl, just like they did Craig Reed when things with a former coach at his son started to go sour. Maybe he doesn't start the first 2 games. Global football should be able to beat those opponents without him. I think you unleash Timex Terry against A&M when they don't have any time to prepare. Disagree. You unleash him early and let him go, assuming he wins the starting job. The opening drive, Jeff, JJ, Bobcat, and Aaron. So you did your research? Okay, so Hunky Dory. Bob researched the term. Hunky Dory comes from where, Roberto?
Well, the least exotic theory of all, but probably the truest clue, traces hunky dory to the archaic American slang word hunk, meaning safe, from the Dutch word honk, meaning goal or home in a game, and to achieve a hunk or a hunky in a child's game is to make it home and win the game. So there you go.
So it's hunky-dory, you win, you're home, you're...
Yeah, they don't know about dory.
So how did it turn into that? But that's what it's used for. Everything's good, everything's fine, everything's yay, it's hunky-dory. Like that doesn't...
Well, that's...
you win.
That's the evolution of language.
Okay. It's all hunky-dory.
Yeah.
Cute. All right. No, thank you for that.
Sure.
Next up from Gato Roberto will be the Houston Baptist Scout. He's already working on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You see what he's done.
I know. I know.
He's got to have like a Houston Baptist Bible ready for the opener.
Not quite the Bible. Maybe an addendum.
We should give Michael Ann a little lesson on that, for crying out loud. Mike's in on the Open Championship. What he says, was that a major, Jeff Alou? Wide fairways, big greens, 15 under. I thought I was watching the John Deere Classic. I know. It was that tournament relies on the hay on the side that you're hitting out of, and bad weather to put you into the hay. And unfortunately, except for Colin Morikawa, you didn't get that. Dan calls him Morikawa, Jeffrey Juan Jose Gato Roberto. When he shook loose down the stretch, you knew it was over. Oosthuizen's never been known for his Sunday closing kick. Okay, but Morikawa? Come on now. That's a good young golfer, man. That is a good game. It's a sweet swing. And he's not a great putter. And boy, did he putt his butt off yesterday and over the weekend. I thought he was terrific. Jeremy's got another edition of JJ Buck. Get off my rocks. JJ Buck, get off my lawn. Jeff, when did a flippin' oil change get so expensive? Yesterday, the Quickie Lube place wanted to charge me 50 times 2 for a basic 3.5 quarts and a filter. Again, this was not the full service with the tire rotation on the spot auto detail, just a plain old oil and filter. Don't know what to tell you. They have gotten more expensive. Used to be able to get out of there for with a coupon for $29.99, and I think it's minimum $60 now.
That's about what I'm doing.
Yeah. So I guess the answer is get under there and change your oil.
Do it yourself.
Yeah, that's the answer. The answer is get under there.
All depends on where your oil filter is, too. That is always a wrench that car companies like to throw in. It used to be in a pretty easy place. Get under there, drop the drain plug, the oil filter. Sometimes they're impossible to get to. I don't even know how they do it. I don't even know if they change your oil filter in some of these cars when you get it done, if it's not at the dealership.
Well, it's always dirty when he comes to you. Look at this. You might want this changed. Look at it. You always need that changed. Oh, that'll only be another 36
your blinker fluid recently?
Your blinker fluid.
Oh, yeah.
I need some of that.
Yeah, I'm looking for some myself.
Blinker fluid?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Then is all these filters you didn't know your car had. Like all your cabin air filter.
Oh, look.
All your trunk filter.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like some of us know.
Your tire filter?
The poor people that don't. They're like, oh my gosh,
I'm going to die.
My seat filter is dirty. Yes, $30.
And then
okay,
your seat belt filter, because you need your seat belt to work, and you don't want to get schmutz in your seat belt because then it'll loosen up. And if you have I would
look at these wiper blades.
Oh, what about your wiper blade filter?
Oh yeah, and your headlight filter.
Oh, the headlight filter.
That's a hard one to change.
That's right. It's hunky dory.
But yes,
damn wiper blades.
Thank goodness for YouTube videos on some of this stuff.
That's the truth.
It's important. You don't want to be in a situation where you need your wipers and it goes flying off.
I have had that happen.
Did you miss my story on that? Were you on KKOB when I told that story?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, we were going up to Colorado Springs for the lacrosse tournament. Pulled over in Raton. Audra thought she was doing a favor, wiped the windshield, lifted the wiper blades, everything. As we're getting back on the freeway, I'm like, why is the wiper blade flapping and blowing off the car? And it just blew off, and then it started to dump, so we had no driver's side wiper blade, just carving a little groove into the windshield. Yeah. Yeah. Why is it, literally, why is it flying away? That's exactly what went down. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. You can respond to what Danny Gonzalez had to say as a Lobo football coach. This is Danny's first media day. He's going into his first, as a head football coach, he's going into his first one. But like he said, he's been trained by the best. Rocky was would hold court at these things. I told you, I think a number of times, you go into his TV sessions and people would just huddle around Rocky, and he was kind of the draw at these in the past. And I would expect that Danny becomes somewhat that over time. And it'll be interesting to see how. But there's going to be so many new coaches. People are kind of getting acquainted with. I'm looking forward to being there and bringing you back some of those conversations. Buying a home right now will give you an opportunity to lock into some of the lowest mortgage rates in history, and I suggest you call American Financing. They will get you pre-approved so you can make an offer with confidence. As more households shift to this new now, whatever that happens to be, I think there's been an apparent space issue, and you can address that. Luckily, mortgage rates remain near record lows. That makes a slightly bigger home a whole lot more affordable. So whether it's your first home, your next home, or your forever home, even an investment home, American Financing is ready to help. From free pre-qualification to securing the best rate and everything else along the way, American Financing has you covered. They never charge up front or hidden fees. There really is no pressure, no obligation. It's all focused on you, so what are you waiting for? With rates still incredibly low, there's never been a better time to make your move. Pre-qualify for free by calling 423-551-6525. That's 423-551-6525, or visit AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 1823334 and MLSConsumerAccess.org.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream style roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection.
Champion this week. It could be tomorrow. Could be by the end of the week. Bucks are up 3-2 on the Phoenix Suns after a dramatic victory down in Arizona over the weekend. Opening drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Phone number to get in is 505-246-0610. Edward, good morning. How are you, sir?
You know, I'd like to wish my mother a very lovely and blessed happy birthday.
Bet she's listening.
Gave life to the Crusher, you know. Thank you for the soundtrack there. I appreciate that. I'm thinking about her, and a very graceful woman, so thank you for letting me share that. Hey, I love the old cliches, and, well, I don't want to be all lickety-split. I did get up on the right side of the bed, but I don't want anybody's knickers to get in a twist. But when I was in college, we had some friends, and with our sarcastic wit, we spoke to each other in nothing but cliches, and it makes you think, and it brings back some old colloquialism. So it's good stuff. Hey, one of the coolest things I saw this weekend was during Game 5, there was a guy in the stands when the Greek Freak was shooting free throws, and they were doing the countdown, and he was counting $100 bills. That was, I always give people creative genius credit. That was awesome. He'll become a meme, I'm sure.
Yep.
Did you guys see that?
I did see that.
That was beautiful. I'm a big fan of Colin Cowherd. I think that he dissects things from a corporate perspective. And 2 weeks before the playoffs started, he picked the Milwaukee Bucks to win the championship, and he said, it's a man's game. Physical teams, older guys, strong. I just think that they're going to wear out the Suns, and he said that last week, and I think that's what we're seeing. The Suns are, incredible. I mean, offensively, they've done some great things, and Booker's a dynamic talent. I think Chris Paul's gotten completely worn out, and to no detriment to him. He's 36 years old, and he's had a phenomenal career, and he may deliver in Game 6 and 7 and still win the championship. But the perspective of man's game in these finals, strong, aggressive, rebounding, big defensive stands, I think they're going to close it out in Game 6, and JJ and I were in agreement. I picked the Bucks in 6. I thought they might even win it in 5, but if they don't win Game 6 and you get to Game 7, then all bets are off and anything could happen. And it's been entertaining for sure. The block, the steal, and the dunk was amazing, and it's an iconic moment that'll be replayed for decades now. And I certainly appreciate the thing I give Greek Creek credit for. And by the way, he's such a gracious superstar, a gracious star in the NBA. Even though he may not have a real polished offensive game, and he still puts up 40-some points, he's found a way to still dominate the game on the defensive side, and with dunks and getting to the rim. And it's a credit to who he is. And I think he's going to, position himself as a two-time MVP and probably going to be the Finals MVP if they win. It's a nice body of work for that guy, and he's a very likable guy. So credit to him. Fascinating weekend. That young golfer, that was amazing to only have 8 career, starts in majors and to win already 2 of them. We've seen it with Spieth. Spieth kind of did the same thing as did the gentleman from Ireland.
Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, I love the accent. So we've seen this. Is it sustainable? No. That's the $100 question. So I think it probably will be. But great sports weekend. So what's the deal with the Mexico team now? Are they out?
They're out.
Do they get a chance?
No,
they're out.
It's win and move on. You're out. You're losing. You're out. That enchantment team in TBT.
You got to have urgency. So you get on a bus, you go down to Oklahoma, boom, done. See you later.
Yeah, or Kansas. Yeah, Wichita, Kansas. Wichita's in Kansas.
So they're not going to Sizzler then?
No, they might have. Well, probably not on the way out. If they'd have won, they'd have got Sizzler. But yeah, probably not.
Hey. Thank you for letting me share a few thoughts, and hope you guys have a great start of the week.
So, is it sustainable? Not at that level. I don't think anybody's winning 25% of their majors. Will Colin Morikawa win again? I believe he will. But 25%, no, that's not sustainable. No. On Giannis, don't forget also, he hyperextended his knee. We all thought he was done. Remember? The end of the last series? He didn't play the last couple of games of the last series. We thought he was done for the year. And it sure looked like it.
Giannis is a breath of fresh air in this environment where we get so hyper-focused on superstars, what they're saying, who they're joining. If you listen to Giannis talk, his comment yesterday on staying in the moment was unbelievable. When he was saying that, ego is living off the past and what you've done. Pride is expecting things to happen for you in the future, and just trying to stay humble is being in the moment. And he said, my focus is just being in the moment, the work that needs to be done. And he's so much fun to watch. He's a great listen. And you look at what Milwaukee was able to do, just draft this skinny, gangly kid, I think like 14th, 15th overall in the draft, and to see him develop into one of the best players in the league and be the cornerstone of a franchise that I'm expecting Milwaukee Bucks to be in the NBA Finals. And here they are, 1 win away from bringing home a trophy.
Well, they're on the cusp. So if they win, can they keep it together? So does that make it? It's not LA, it's not Miami, it's not New York, it's not. It's Milwaukee, Wisconsin. One of the most probably undesirable markets in the league in regards to free agents. Can they keep that thing together up there and have a 5-6 year run?
5-6 years, no. 2 to 3, yes.
Okay. Giannis,
I believe. I'll double check, but at least in the next 2 to 3 years, Giannis, Drew, and
they're all signed.
Chris are all in.
Yeah. So they can do this for 3 more years. Can they attract someone else? Can they bring someone in? Because you got to get better. You got to keep getting better. You don't sit on your laurels, right? The Nets are going to be really good next year, assuming they're healthy. Philly's going to be really good next year. The Knicks are getting better. Boston will probably be good next year. Like the East got better. There's 5. Miami will be back. I think in the West you got everybody. Golden State's going to be good next year. Like for how long can they do that? I think is a really good question. Do I got time to do this, or you want me to hold it through? Nope, I don't. All right, we're going to go to the phones as soon as we get back from this break. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Your emails come in, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Les says if we're going to play, let's play. Jeff, I think it's naive to think we're going to go through an entire school year with no COVID plus COVID cases. I just hope by the time we get to September 2nd, we're beyond the point of someone looks great and feels great but tests positive. We not only knock them out, but everyone they've been around going back to their second grade teacher. I tell you, if someone tests positive, they're not going to play. I'm not sure what we don't understand about that. How protocols are is going to be interesting moving forward. All right. Want your thoughts on enchantment? We'll recap that as well. As Edward said, they went all the way to Wichita, Oklahoma. You know, that young man, he's not good with names. And he knows the superstar. He knows Giannis, and he knows Thomas Edward Brady's middle name, birth date, dad's name. Anybody else? Not so much. It's the opening drive. Aaron's producing on ProView Networks.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of no-valent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that could happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here.
7 o'clock in the morning. 7 a.m. where have you been? 7 a.m. where is your brother? Now,
voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with two-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Siembieda, and J.J. Buck.
Bummer of a weekend for the Enchantment. Man, it was a good 3 quarters, though, or almost a full 3 quarters. I'm like almost a good full 3 quarters, right? If you watched it, the basketball tournament TBT over the weekend, then you got a pretty good look at a Lobo alumni team that looked terrific. I thought J.R. Giddens is now named 36-year-old J.R. Giddens.
36-year-old J.R. Giddens.
Yeah. It was great. I thought Darrington Hobson looked nice. Mathis could shoot. Roman, or as they said, Roman Martinez was hitting shots. They opened up a 23-point lead. Had a 23-point lead in the third quarter, late in the third quarter. Opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. And then it fell apart, and they lose the Elam ending. They had their 4 opportunities to win the thing. 4. And couldn't convert. And they lose to the Stillwater Stars 84-83. It was a bummer. And I bought in. I totally bought in. I was all in. I like hook, line, and sinker. And I don't want to call it the worst history or worst loss in Lobo history, but man, that was a rough.
Oh, did I do a 180? Talking up this tournament, like, it's going to be fun. Win or lose, it's not going to feel that bad. It's the start of something that could be fun for the summer, former players getting together. But when you blow a 23-point lead, that was definitely 70% collapse. 23-point lead, minute to go in the third quarter, playing a 9-minute fourth quarter with the Elam ending on deck. And it was just a couple threes that got the Stillwater Stars going, and then turnovers, missed shots, wondering where Anthony Mathis is. All of a sudden, you're like, I'm incredibly disappointed.
Yeah.
I was right there with you. I'm invested. This should be a lot of fun. And then, oh my goodness, this is not good.
Yeah. Where was Anthony Mathis is right. Where was the scoring coming from? It was just a bummer. It was like I bought in. I didn't know what to expect. I honestly didn't. They're down 17-10. They go on that run, and they're up by, big at halftime. I just, everything about it. What's going on here? And then they blow that lead. And I bought in. I played fanboy for a minute. I was stoked for these guys. I was all in, and is disappointed in an ending locally of anything in a long time. In a long time. And it was because they were up so big. It was because, gosh, and then I wanted to watch it again. I wanted to see him play again. Like I was fired up. I'm like, okay, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to watching this mess happen again. And I didn't.
And then just to see, like, get Gordon getting blocked at the rim, them not able to get good shots up, them getting pushed around in the fourth quarter, and it's just hard with how well they played to that point, and then to see these guys go down like that, it was just so incredibly frustrating. But I'm excited to see what can come of this. It's something that Brandon Mason and company can continue to put together, can keep guys interested. As some of these guys, the schedule has to work out. That's the thing. We didn't see some players that people are hoping to see, like an Alex Kirk, Ken Williams. But if you add those to the squad next year, you have a really intriguing team that could do something in this tournament and then continue to get people excited. And then who knows? Maybe the tournament looks at the Pit as an option to host one of these regionals, 16 teams coming in, and then that would be awesome for basketball fans in the city.
It would. If you saw, I don't know if anybody got to watch last night at the Aftershocks, which, by the way, is the best name of the tournament.
It's pretty good.
The Wichita State Shockers alumni team, the Aftershock. They played at home in Wichita against Creighton's alumni team, which, by the way, was a longtime rivalry. And that was a big deal for all those fans there. Like that atmosphere was as good as most college atmospheres, period. Right?
Yeah, it was just like college game. Shocker fans showing up and watching their guys.
Yeah, it was fun, and to get I couldn't not think putting this thing in the pit would be terrific. Are you able to put it back together? Are you able to run this thing back? Are you able to get everybody to come back in next year and do this thing?
I think you can get the core back. Whatever you think that core is, Mathis, Drew Gordon, Derrick Thompson. I'm sure Jared Giddens would give it another run. He'll be ready to go.
Yeah, it's going to be schedules, to your point, and if you can bring in Kendall Williams, I don't know where he is in his game and in his life and his career and all that stuff, but Alex Kirk certainly. Boy, Alex Kirk would have been big down the stretch, huh? When you needed someone at the rim, like that would have been really nice to have, would it not?
Yeah, and you learn just how quickly, how intense this tournament gets and what it is all about, and seeing the work that's put in. I know it's such a short time frame, but these guys are all bought in. And you get into those moments, you get into that game, win or go home, you see the intensity, you see everyone working, you see the guys talking in the huddle, which is a neat thing you get is inside the huddle, for these TBT games, just hearing them mic'd up and the conversations leaning on each other. Great tournament, fun atmosphere, but incredibly disappointing when you get bought in and you lose 23
So bought in. And I bought in more and more. I'm like, damn, they can ball. They're playing defense. They're rebounding. Drew Gordon looks good on the block. Oh, look at JR flying around. Mathis can shoot. Roman came on, hit a couple of shots. I'm like, damn, I was in. And I know a bunch of you were too. And then the disappointment and no scoring down the stretch run. Ball handling was an issue. As Doug Gottlieb and the Stillwater Stars applied pressure full court. And to your point, it's like, how does a team that is this world seasoned, right? Pros that played all over the globe, not being able to handle a press like that, because they look like an AAU team that had never seen a press before.
And it's going to hurt these guys and stay in their mind is they got pushed around in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, they did. There's no doubt. They got out tough. They got pushed around.
That's why I do think if it's able to work out, because there's still, this is a big undertaking of getting these guys together, the financial backing, getting the support. So if you're able to run it back, and you're going to have some of these guys go, yeah, I'd like to go try to get that taste out of my mouth.
By the way, a big thumbs up on the uniforms. Big thumbs up on the uniforms with the turquoise numbers and the turquoise striping down. What do you think of Fran Fraschilla on the broadcast, by the way? His familiarity with UNM, and it did feel like just a really good feel for Fran. It obviously didn't end well for him here, but everything he's ever said about his time in New Mexico. Now, Espanola is not necessarily on the Colorado border, where northern New Mexico college is, where J.R. Giddens is. But other than that, I thought... and the other dude saying, what kind of sauce do you put on your food? With sauce.
Sauce.
Be on the sauce. Tough.
Sauce.
Yeah. Do you put red or green sauce on
green chili sauce.
Yeah, okay. But other than that, I thought Fran being on the broadcast was actually a plus to it.
I agree with that. I think overall Fran is a great broadcaster with what he does, college basketball-wise, the international knowledge that he has, and it was just a nice little sidebar with his connection to that program and some of those players.
Yeah, boy, and JR could hoop, huh? Who are you most impressed with? Hobson, JR, Mathis, who?
Me, it's Anthony Mathis. I just think he's added the little elements to his game. He's gotten stronger. He's good on the ball. He's still such a deadly three-point shooter. By the way, he advanced in the three-point tournament. Yeah. But other things, like Jamal Smith.
Yeah.
Liked his game. Jared Giddens is everyone dropping. He's 36 years old. He's going to be so impressive.
He's 36.
He looks better than some of the 26-year-olds that are out there. I really enjoyed everyone. And then the eye-openers for me, Cleveland Thomas, Antno Jackson. I've seen some of those guys out there. I enjoyed it overall, except for the result.
And the 5 turnovers by Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to, just take care of the basketball. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. We're here for you. Anything happened over the weekend, we can move forward with Team USA now on their way to Tokyo. You can move forward with the Olympics, however it is, whatever it is you want to do. We're here for you the rest of the way. You can respond to what Danny Gonzalez had to say, as well as Global Football Coaches with us. Media days this week as we get ready for Mountain West Conference football. Don't waste your hard-earned money on high credit card rates. Instead, may I suggest you consolidate that debt with help from your mortgage at American Financing? You can save up to $1,000 a month when you consolidate debt. Here's the deal. You're able to make one low monthly payment instead of a bunch of payments. So paying off your high-interest debts faster may actually improve your credit rate. So here's the story. Call American Financing. You're going to learn about options to consolidate your debt with the help from your mortgage. You'll get a lower rate. You'll have one manageable monthly payment to focus on each month, and it could save you up to $1,000 a month, plus tens of thousands of dollars in long-term savings. So imagine the difference that would make. Probably sizable for you, huh? Me too. Then pick up the phone for a free mortgage review and find out what you can save. There's no pressure. There's no upfront or hidden fees. You might even postpone 2 mortgage payments, but you've got to call American Financing, and you should do it now. 423-551-6525. 423-551-6525. Or visit them online, AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Foo Fighters are coming to Isleta Amphitheater August 9th, and we've got your tickets.
That's a... Oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's a... That gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
1-0's the count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
He brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
Small ball team for Reed Fiegel this year. That one is hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd. One nothing Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles played long ball. Good over with 2 outs here. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Fan presence because, well, fans aren't welcome at the Olympics. But here we go, and we're getting started in a couple of days. I think softball starts tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Team USA basketball over the weekend. Everything's fine now. They beat Spain 83-76. They all fine now. You feel good about them. The women won, the men won. Everybody's good now. Just fly over the Pacific and get over to Japan and start kicking some Angolan butt, or what?
I feel better than I did a week ago.
Well, they won.
Of course, they won. But it's just time. You had to give it time. It was frustrating seeing this team lose 2 games when they only lost 2 games in like 20 years up until that point last week. They got the talent. And then if they do add Drew Holiday, Devin Booker, Chris Middleton, late reinforcements for them in this tournament, I like the odds of them getting gold.
So
they're taking it home.
If the series ends tomorrow, I mean, those guys get there when? Friday-ish? If it goes through...
I appreciate the commitment.
I do too.
Good on you.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I wonder if these guys realize what they were kind of getting into when they committed. But they beat Spain yesterday, what, 83-76 or something like that? They were down by 9 in the first half. Then they got big and they played well. Kevin Durant, Dame Lillard, Zach LaVine had 9 3-pointers combined.
How about Pau Gasol? It's a balling for Spain.
How about Pau Gasol?
Getting that international work in.
Gotta love you some Pau Gasol. All right, I don't know what to expect from these Olympics. I expect at some point they will be tainted. Somebody will be out of competition because of COVID. And it'll be like at a final stage. Coco Gauff is out. She tested positive. She will not play. You have a gymnastics alternate who will not compete. It feels like it's fairly rampant over there. It's in the Olympic Village. And I'll go back to that email we got earlier. Well, hopefully if somebody feels good and they're fine just because they test positive. They test positive, they're out. Like, this is still killing people all over the country and all over the world. And so if they test positive, they're not going to compete. I don't know what we don't understand about that. Like, why is that still a debated fact? Because it's not that big of a deal anymore in your mind? Is that, I mean, why is that?
The thing there, positive test for player out, and I think what that emailer did address earlier, and I do think is the fair question, what does that mean about everyone else? Are we at a point where, all right, there's a contact tracing situation, we'll monitor this person, but if everyone else tests negative, the rest of the team is ready to go, is that game still being played? Because in professional sports, we have gotten to that point.
You isolate that person, you test everybody else. Yeah. Yeah, this whole thing has evolved, and if it gets back, well, why are we doing? It's where it is, and it's still. I mean, it's what 157% higher than it was 2 weeks ago, and I think we've hit a threshold. I mean, really close to one. I think in our country, the vaccine is so accessible. Whoever wants it has gotten it, and if you're not getting it, you're not getting it, right? I mean, if you haven't gotten it yet, for the most part, you're probably not going to get it, right?
At this point,
I don't know that I see our numbers increasing dramatically at all. If you wanted it or want it, I think you've gotten it. And if you're not getting it, you don't think it's safe, you don't, for whatever reason, you've got, then I don't think we're going to see a dramatic change in numbers. I just don't. I think that's probably going to be, relatively worldwide, but certainly nationwide. And now when you're going over there where the availability isn't near what it is, it'll be interesting. Jose, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hi, Jose.
Good morning. This is Josue.
Oh, well, it says Jose.
Yep.
You don't even train these producers well. I mean, you can't even get your name right.
Sorry.
Yeah. No,
well, I said Josue, but who knows?
Well, I have poor
I
hearing.
think with the positive testing, I think what people don't understand, it's not that they don't understand. I think that, society has just gotten to a point, well, not everybody, but most people are just, they're ready to move on, And I think with this opening that we've had, it's starting to feel, better. So I think people are like, okay, let's just keep moving forward. Let's not retract back. And the other thing I think for positive, maybe to help things along, couldn't we just do it where like, okay, if you tested positive, I mean, I understand why they do it, but it's like John Rahm, he was positive 1 week and then the next week he was back. So he never got sick. Should we maybe switch it over to, like, are you actually sick? Kind of like when you're hurt, are you injured? Is there a difference in that? Can we do that? Or you think I'm off base there?
I think if you're positive, you're still contagious, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the precaution, right?
Right.
We don't want to get somebody else sick. Just because, you're positive, but you're not sick, but we're trying to protect everybody else that might get sick, not just turn positive.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the battle is.
Yeah, I think that's the fear, right? If you've got it, you're contagious. You can get other people sick, and even if it's not knocking you down, people you're around, it might kill somebody else or might knock somebody else down. I think that's why you're having the precautions you have.
Yeah. So I don't know how we're going to get around that. I mean, there's just just certain people are always going to feel like maybe that's the right thing to do. Other people are going to feel, well, that's a little overboard. So I don't know. It's just always going to be something that we have to deal with, and some people are just not going to be happy about it, especially if it affects your team or
your life,
something critical. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Hey, on another note, I took the Little Hosers out to the Isotopes game Saturday. Man, that was great. That was a great ball game. A lot of action. Really enjoyed it. Got to see the final fireworks game, so that was really enjoyable.
Good.
To see people out and about. So.
Yes, it is. All right, man. Good to hear you. Don't be a stranger.
All right, man.
See you.
Cool.
Hoser, call to 246-0610. You can as well. 888-922-0610. Jared, good morning. Hi, Jared.
Hey, I'm sorry to bring this up, but there's a lot going on, and I think these NBA Finals is probably the last conclusion to sports that we're going to have in a long time, because California is going back to a mask mandate, even if you've been vaccinated.
Yep.
And oh, by the way, the federal government declared water shortage for the first time at Lake Mead. There's a lot of things in play that are going to play out, whether we like it or not. They're going to get amplified. And I mean, the baseball season, I highly doubt is going to conclude in a regular schedule. It's going to get stopped somewhere, or something's going to happen. There's no way the football season is going to start on time. This is the table's getting set right now, and people could say they're burnt out and everything, but And, like, what does that mean? You're burnt out. Everybody's falling in line and doing what's asked. And I whether it's political or whatever it is, I think it's just fatigue from everybody's perspective. And I think whatever you believe politically, you're told to go over here, you go over here. Go buy this, you buy this. Don't do this, you don't do that. And then there's still consequences. So it just seems like whoever doesn't have their act together in some capacity, and it's just obvious, even to our kids, that this is getting dealt with as we go day by day, basically made up as we go along. And there's no way we're talking about sports today, but there's no way UNM's going to complete the season or things like that or whatever. We all know that. I mean, I can't confirm it, but in my heart, I just feel like just enjoy the Game 6 tonight, because that's probably it for a long, long time.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I don't know if I totally agree with that. Do you?
I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah,
I think there's still elements of just people in the general public having to figure things out. But in terms of sports, we just watched them go through a pandemic season. So they're not going to shut it all down. If arenas have to limit capacity, if they have to go that way, they'll do what they have to do in that regard. But the sports leagues themselves know what it takes to get it done at this point in time. And we just watched that Global football team and the basketball teams at university playing an entire season on the road. So I don't think we're going to get to the point where they're not playing. They know what it takes to play.
I think there's going to be a setback. I think there's going to be a step back. I think there's going to be, in some places, there may, to your point, there may be a limited capacity. I do believe that there will be games that are affected. I think we saw Yankees and Red Sox coming out of the All-Star break that was canceled. I think the Olympics will certainly be affected. I think there will be players like the John Rahm thing. I think I'm going to agree with you and disagree with Jared as far as they're going to have to shut these things down, because I just watched them go through the pandemic and play. So I think there is a blueprint where they went through a whole NFL season with the majority of it spectatorless. If they need to do that, they can. I think everybody's planning on moving forward. But I do think there's going to be a setback. I do, just the way it's going. To his point, California with the mask mandate for all indoors, vaccinated or not. The numbers going where they're going. Because I think we kind of got to where we're going to get. I don't know that we're going to see a big change in vaccination rates. I think in our country, if you want the shot, if you want the vaccine, you've probably gotten it by now. If you're opposed to it, if you're not getting it, they can have it available. They can give you as much $100 or $250,000 incentives as they want. But I guess my guess, if you're not getting it, you've made up your mind by now.
And I think that's, to me, the difference in that conversation is you can feel maybe a little dread or, oh no, what's going to happen in public, and the things that we're getting back to. I don't see all of a sudden sports just grinding to a halt, because they just went through it. They know what it takes to get it done. And if they have to cut back on fans, they'll do it. But I don't see seasons just abruptly stopping, or Major League Baseball not playing, or even college athletics not starting on time.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. But again, I do think it'll be altered. There'll be things that'll be altered. There'll be effects. But I don't think we're shutting it down. Now, Jared might be right and I might be wrong. And only time will tell. Albuquerque finally has a first-class, world-class, wonderful memorabilia shop. Sports, entertainment, music, a place for you to go get signed memorabilia that is unique, that is different, that is special, that is going to be an unbelievable gift. It's all in autographs. 2225 Wyoming Northeast, just south of Manal. If you go in there, you tell them you heard about it here on the Sports Animal, you'll get $25 off purchase of $100 or more. What do they have? Everything. Jerseys, cards, pictures, signed by who? I don't know, everything from Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe to Prince to your local, your current stars, Steph Curry, Clayton Kershaw. MMA stuff, historical stuff. It's insane. Go in there. I told you, I spent 2 hours just looking around. Danica Patrick stuff, Jack Nicklaus stuff, Tiger Woods stuff. Steph Curry's on this one, and then there's Pele on another one. It's so cool. It is so cool. You're going to find something there you want. If you're looking for that gift for that person who's got everything, this is your spot. And they're doing all kinds of events there. Coming up this week, card trading night on the 22nd, Texas Hold'em night on the 23rd, wine and whiskey tasting on the 24th, and the next month, guys coming in to do signings and appearances, Lincoln Kennedy, Steve Garvey, Rick Barry, all kinds of great names and great things going through what is just a first-class, wonderful place at All In Autographs. Give them a call. The phone number is 505-504-7575. You can look at them online. It's allinautographs.com. And go take a look in person at 2225 Wyoming Northeast, Suite F. All In Autographs. It is all that.
The Sport Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide on Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Cade Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a... Oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's that gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs as Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
One O's the count. This one's high. It's going deep, and it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
He brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
is hit on the line to the left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd. 1-0 Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles played long ball. Put over with 2 outs here. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
For your FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
There's an old Ian Hunter song called Old Records Never Die. Old records never die. Old producers never go away. That was Josue. I don't know if you caught that. Josue, who called us in the last segment. And then Micah just came by. So that's 2 former producers here in the last 10 minutes. Bobcat's still a current producer, I think, right? Gato Roberto, you in this week or like all week? Today?
Today, Wednesday, and Friday. Tuesday and Thursday, my wife has some medical things that I have to take her to.
All right.
I'm not taking the day off.
All right.
I'm always busy.
I understand. Hondo says, was that Jared from Subway, Jeff? COVID's going to spike and fall, just like respiratory viruses always do. It's going to be interesting to see if there's a new round of panic, if the governor tells everyone to go hide under the bed again. There will be some sense of panic. There will be a sense of spread. There will be a sense of, unfortunately, with this virus, death. Now, how are we going to handle it? What are the rates going to be? We're not done. As much as everybody wants to think we're done and we're moved on and we're taking trips and that's great and all. And if you're vaccinated, maybe there's a sense of security to it. If you've had it, maybe there's a sense of security to it. This thing, JJ, this thing's not done. I heard somebody tell me the other day, I don't remember which network I was watching, which medical expert, that predicts within a year and a half, everybody in our country will have either been vaccinated or had COVID. Okay. And I think, if that's where we're headed, that's where we're headed. We're not done, though, is the point.
Yeah, and I believe that, as you said, there's still going to be things we deal with. They're seeing athletes ahead of the Olympics pull out. We're still seeing it happen in Major League Baseball, what we're seeing, but I don't think we're at the point where we're going to see anything shut down like we did at the very beginning in the sports world, like games and stuff.
Terry, good morning. How are you, Terry?
Good. Doing well. Good morning, gentlemen. Hope you had a great weekend. I'll start a little, I guess, on the negative side. As much as the Bucks play was awesome, I think Chris Paul's foul at the end was one of the worst fouls ever. If he just lets Giannis dunk the ball, there's still 12 or 13 seconds left. They have a timeout, and they're down by 3. Sometimes, physical play, you miss a shot, life goes on. But mentally, I don't know what got into him because he looked like a, middle school basketball game where you have the little 5-foot point guard trying to push the 6-foot kid that's growing big right away. But I thought that was bad. But I think as much as, I think Giannis deserves as much credit, for that play because Booker gets in there and there's Giannis. And I think he knew after the block the other night he was in trouble. Maybe he should have tried to call timeout quick, but the steal was great. The dunk was great, but I thought the foul was pretty poor. Speaking on mental, I don't know if old Louis, as well as his swing is so sweet during the first 3 rounds, he just struggles in the last round. He did it when they were playing doubles. I guess that sounds like tennis, but that tournament when they were paired together, he had some errant shots at the end after playing very well. And, just first 3 rounds, everything seemed very pure. And then at the end, it kind of crumbles. For the gentleman who thought it played like John Deere, maybe they should interview the current PGA champion and think if he thought it played like John Deere, from that standpoint. But, dogs going crazy. But, and then if somebody wants to stay well or not, Springfield, Springfield, Missouri, or Edward might say Springfield, Oklahoma. So if you want to get chicken from that standpoint, if you want to get somebody to heaven, maybe you should go over there because I think they're going to hit big. But from that standpoint, in the Olympics, we've already lost Coco Gauff. One of the female gymnasts tested positive, and we're still 4 days away from the opening ceremony, so it's going to be a matter of how many get sent home. Glad my dogs could join in on the call today. But you guys have a great day. Take care. It's always good listening to you. Be safe.
Springfield, Oklahoma is one of my favorite spots. There's something in there that he hit on. I don't know what it was, but yeah, like the Olympics are not going to be unaffected by the COVID, and you're already getting affected. And Bradley Beal's out, Coco Gauff is out. It's in your gymnasium, and that's just the American team. So, all right, 2460610. We'll come back, wrap it up for you. I got a few more emails to get to you that you have sent, so I will send them to you. You can get in on the enchantment. I'm really surprised there hasn't been a bigger reaction on enchantment, to be honest with you. I thought that was going to be the big story today. But you can get in on the basketball tournament as well. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck, Aaron and Adrian producing on the ProView side. It's Bobcat on this side on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry.
Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one.
That's the old Ian Hunter song. I see what you did. Like, I know this. It's a good record. It's one of his late records. It's a little slower song, but old records never die. Bobcat finding little old records. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. Glad you're with us on this Monday as we get you through. Isotopes keep winning, man. They continue to roll. We're back at it tonight, 6:15. Josh Sushan will crack the microphone from Isotopes Park as they continue their series against the Sugarland Skeeters. Sans Alex Bregman. Alex is the one who kind of got that going.
Tease, Alex. What a tease.
Yeah, it was quite a tease. And this one's not on the Isotopes. The Isotopes never said anything about this. Alex was kind of hoping that this would be his rehab, and it looks like it will not be his rehab. And it's you know, it is what it is. I was out at the ballpark on Thursday and Friday night, actually. Good time, good crowds. Ball club's playing better. I mean, they were horrible to start the season. And then I guess when Warren Schaefer stopped coming on Wednesdays on the day off.
Yes, when he stopped wasting time with us and was focusing on being a baseball manager, things improved.
See what happens? Just stop talking to those idiots in the morning and go out and get your club right, and all of a sudden they got better. See, the Rockies got better too. Right? I mean, they
coincidence? I think not.
I don't know what to tell you. I honestly, I don't know what to tell you about where the Rockies are in organization. I just think this week's going to tell a lot. What their plan is for the immediate future. And the immediate future, to me, means next year. I think this week is going to tell you a lot. Whether Trevor Story gets dealt, whether John Gray gets dealt. I think John Gray's gone. I think they're both gone. I know you don't. You just think John Gray, right?
Yes, they have a lot of work to do, but I do not believe that this organization, where they sit right now, can trade Trevor Story. When you have pretty much an interim general manager, you're not certain on what that structure is going to look like in the front office of where they sit. Coming off the PR hit you took, trading Nolan Arenado, not just trading him, but then giving the St. Louis Cardinals $50 million on top of that. You can't trade Trevor Story right now.
So you say, what is the direction of the team? And so if you trade him, you don't have a direction. What is the direction if you keep him?
Well, I think if you keep him, it doesn't mean you can't trade him in the offseason. You don't have to trade him right
Fair
now.
enough. Fair enough.
It would only be trading him to say, well, we're not winning, so let's trade him.
Well, you could get a bunch of prospects now.
As you could in the offseason. He's not.
So would a team be more desperate now? A team that's going, and I think that's why the talk is now. A team that thinks that Trevor Story can put them over the top, a team that's in contention, a team who is trying to make a stretch run, and there's a really good shortstop who can be a cornerstone for us for a while. Can you get more in return now? And I think the answer is probably.
The answer could be probably, but the answer for the organization, it has to be a no. Like you can't do this with an interim general manager. You can't do this without just at least a plan set of what this team is going to be moving forward. They have a lot of work to do, but trading Trevor Story just to do it because you're not winning is not good for the Rockies.
I think I agree with you, but I think it's going to go the other way. Tommy, good morning.
Really quickly, guys, I know you got to go. I commented you back at you guys. I need an opinion. I'll probably call back more this afternoon. Cardboard beds for Olympic athletes to sleep on. Are you kidding me?
Because they can only support the body weight of one. The cardboard beds at the Olympic Village are there to discourage intimacy amongst the athletes and hence stop the spread of the virus.
Okay, what is the weight limit on those cardboard beds? What about if you get one of those big guys that throw discus and they're like 280 pounds? Is this going to break down? I just never seen this before. We probably wouldn't see it if it was in the USA. Best athletes in the world sleeping on cardboard beds. How comfortable can that be?
Well, I guess, the mattress on a cardboard bed, I don't know. I've never slept on a cardboard bed. I'm going to guess it's highly imperfect and is there. And it's like, by the way, so if the bed collapses, are they still not going to be intimate? Is that the only place that athlete intimacy can occur is on a cardboard? What are we doing?
And I know for sure, you studs there, all you guys that work here, from Mr. Buck to the wonderment of Trujillo, you guys have probably broken some beds in your time, so you got good experience to speak for.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, guys. I want to talk about this more this afternoon because I know you guys are about to be off. But yeah, this is something I'm going to do some more research on. I've never heard of this, and you'll probably never hear of it again. And if they were in the USA, I don't think you would have the best athletes in the world sleeping on cardboard beds.
I think that's right.
Just crazy.
All right, Tommy. Later.
All right, bye, guys. Later.
To your point is, and that's what I was saying. I mean, what makes them think that you need a bed? Somehow this is going to discourage. Like if the gymnast from Lithuania and the basketball player from Spain are going to get together, they're going
cardboard bed would be an upgrade in some situations.
I think that's probably right. I think that's probably absolutely right. But the athletes to sleep on what they're calling anti-sex cardboard beds at the Olympic Games, because they think that it will discourage intimacy, and so that's what's going to be in the Olympic Village. So they're still a mattress. It's not like the mattress is made out of cardboard.
Yeah, it's sleeping in a bunch of cardboard boxes.
So they're getting like these twin beds, basically on basically on cardboard boxes. I guess they can.
You break it, you buy it. You break it, you don't get another one?
What are you going to do to me? I mean, really? Like, you're going to charge my Olympic...
Parents all across the country Googling cardboard beds.
So, to his point on what is the weight limit, I keep looking for it, and I don't know. I'm going to guess it's got to be somewhere around 200 pounds. There's 18,000 beds and mattresses. 8,000 will be used for the Paralympics next month. So the Paralympians are also getting cardboard beds. Okay, so they can sustain up to 440 pounds. So what's the issue? Is it the action thereof? Like they
We're talking about the shock absorption of the cardboard bed?
Look, to further discourage carousing, as they're calling it at the Olympics, alcohol sales will be
they can be recycled when it's all said and done.
I think that's wonderful.
The positive.
I think that's wonderful. Alcohol sales banned. Condoms, which routinely have been distributed at the Olympics since the Seoul Games in 1988, will be provided to encourage safe sex, but only about a third as many condoms will be available. The fact that there's a record on this, that there's stats on this, the fact that this is telling me the record was 450,000 condoms handed at the Rio Games in 2016 because they kept a count on how many condoms. Olympic officials say that they're intended for athletes to use only once they're back in their home countries. Here,
I guess this
stock up and take these
also
home.
shreds that myth about fighters. They're like, oh, you can't have sex before the fight. It's going to take your legs away. These Olympians seem to be doing all right.
What about after the fight? Maybe it's only for after the fights. I don't even understand what's going on. But there were already 3 cases inside the Olympic Village. And Coco Gauff and there was a gymnast from the United States. But yeah, so if these hit up to 440 pounds, what's the issue? Like, what are they really discouraging? By the way, they look like a bunch of boxes. A bunch of, and they're all twin beds. How's this working for Kevin Durant? I'm just asking. So you got a regular sized twin bed. You're asking a 7-foot Kevin Durant to go over to Tokyo and sleep on a little 6'2" cardboard box. How's that working? Or did they rent another ship somewhere? Or what are we doing? Thanks to Danny Gonzalez, who was with us today. Global football coach.
Don't forget, recycle your bed when you're done.
Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd will follow that. Sports Bar with Trulio and Carlisle this afternoon at 4. Isotopes Baseball at 6:15 with Josh Sushan. Aaron, Adrienne, excellent work. Gato Roberto.
Yes, sir.
See you Wednesday, maybe? Well, I'll see you Friday.
Okay.
Porque no está aquí en 2 días. Nomás.
Okay.
Big day for you?
Huge day.
It's always a big day. How do you have so many big days all the time?
Crazy.
Be good to each other, please. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.